In this video, I decided to try and beat Elden Ring's main game while only using cheese. Cheese can involve exploiting a glitch, a game mechanic, or an overpowered ability to gain an unfair advantage over the opponent, or in this case, the bosses. And I used these three definitions to absolutely destroy all the bosses I fought against. And in this case, that meant Mimic, nope, game bugs. Here we go. And of course, gravity. Yeah, was all fair game to use. This video was really fun to make as most of my runs involve heavy restrictions, so it felt nice to switch it up. I plan to do a part 2 to this for the DLC, so if you want to see that, why not consider subscribing so you don't miss it. Anyways, it's time to move on to the video, and as always, I hope you enjoy. Alright, to start this off, I think I actually want to choose the Confessor class, just seeing as it has one of the higher faith stats out of all of the starting classes, and it has overall just decent stats in general, so I think we're just going to go with this. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is probably grab the flail in order to cheese the big dragon Greyll, so we could just get a bunch of runes early on. Alright, and let's just grab that. Alright, now that we're in Dragon Barrow, what we want to get is Radagon's Source Seal, as it will allow us to wield the new flail that we just picked up, as I'm pretty sure it requires 17 dex, which, yeah, we don't have that. Alright, and then we just come down here, and then we quit out as soon as we grab the item. The reason we quit out here is just so we lose aggro, because otherwise it would just stop you teleporting, and then you would just die. I just converted all my potions to blue pots, because you're probably going to need them in order to kill this thing fully. We could actually make this cheese better by using bleed grease, but I'll be honest, I'm just a bit lazy to get it. Anyways, I'll probably skip to when this is done. Alright, and this should be the last few hits, I think. Yep, there we go. Anyway, now that we've got our runes, we now want to get the Meteoric Staff as well as Rock Sling in order to just absolutely cheese the first two bosses. Alright, grab this. I believe this is Rock Sling. Alright, grab that. And now to finish off by getting the Meteoric Staff, which is just over here. Alright, now we just got to finish off by talking to a few NPCs. Alright, sir, I just want you to, come over peacefully. Take these rocks to the face, please. And you should be dead. GG's. See, even a toddler could do this run if they really wanted to. And of course, later on, we're probably going to use more Ash of Wars, so we will need this talisman. No, Alexander, relax. It was an accident, man. Please. Oh, on second thoughts, was not an accident at all. Look, it hurts me as much as it hurts him, okay? I promise you. To watch my friend get murdered in front of me, it really was one of the hardest things I've had to do in a while. Alright, and we also want to collect one more talisman, which is found in this cave by defeating the boss, which just makes it so that when we're at light load, we do more damage. And in this run, I imagine we'll probably be at light load quite a lot, so it'll be useful for stuff like this. And just like that, we made it to the boss room without any issues. Alright, we'll just do this. Ooh, that damage is not pretty. Never mind. Pretty adequate, actually. You should go down quite soon, though. Yeah, just like that. You know, we're not even going to repose. We're just going to keep doing this. It's a lot more cheesy to do this. And just like that, we get the Blue Dance Charm. Well, just before fighting Patches, this guy obviously blocks our way, so we're just going to need to take him out real quick. Using the power of spamming our ability. Alright, there we go. Once he respawns, it becomes a lot easier because he just takes aggro. And we can just spam Rock Sling from afar. And he's dead. It really is just that simple. There we go. The ultimate manipulator. This has to be one of the easiest Margit kills I'm going to get. I mean, we don't have anything in our physic, but I don't think we're actually going to need it. Summon you. Okay. Down on the ground. And now we start spamming. Hold it. I mean, he's rotting now, so honestly we could just play on defense. But what kind of person would I be to do that? It really is just that simple. Just using the power of spam and the power of a rot dog, it really does just make things easy. I think this section actually might just be the hardest part of the run, getting through this part. For Godrick, we're going to use the exact same strategy that we used for Margit, except we don't have the Margit Shackle. But it will still basically work the same because Godrick is a bit of an easy boss to cheese. Alright, let's just summon this guy real quick. The spam starts. Now that he's distracted, we can just spam him with a few rocks. Because we do want him to proc rot at least before he dies. I mean, this is just very simple. And the dog's dead. Now we just want to move in and we just start spamming again. Probably fit another one. Yep. He's just going to do this and we give another one. Yep. And he is officially dead. GG's. There we go. Very simple stuff. Alright, now that we're in Liurnia, we actually want to get a different weapon to fight Rennala with. And the weapon I'm going to get is known to be probably one of the most broken weapons in the game. Alright, let's just spawn him in and run. Alright, cool. He's probably going to teleport. Ah, nah, he's dead. GG's. And just like that, we have our Bloodhound Fang without any difficulty. Alright, now we just want to upgrade this thing to +5. One more thing we want to add, just to make it even better, even though it's kind of optional, is to just put Blood Flame on it, as it just increases the bleed build up by so much. Stop struggling! Alright, thank you. Alright, now that we have both of these things, we can actually start entering the academy and just, honestly, just destroying both the bosses. I wonder how quick this is going to take to kill Red Wolf. I doubt it'd be that long. Unless he gives me some shitty RNG, but we better find out. Okay, well, it's not great RNG to begin with. Alright, and he's dead. I would love to see how quick that was. I mean, I wasn't really surprised. I mean, seeing as how the rest of the run's gone so far, that really did not surprise me. But yeah, we get to do another cheese just before Rennala. And if you've watched my videos, you will know exactly what cheese that is. The cheese is so good that it doesn't even feel like a cheese, because I use it every single time. Nice. The best part about it is that he absolutely deserves it. Like, him being able to parry basically every move is absolutely insane. Especially before a boss without a grace. Yeah, they lost their mind. Anyway, it's time to speedrun. Alright, pop this, and down you go. Oh my god, it was a one cycle. Insane. Let me just summon these guys. Okay, great. She did that move. Alright, cool. And now we just jump her. This infinite stun lock. Alright, repose. And she's dead. GG's. And that is how you speedrun Rennala. Alright, so we're entering the Carrion Manor because we actually want to do part of Ranni's questline. And the reason that is because we want to do Celevis's questline and get the Magic Scorpion charm. And sadly, you can't do it at a certain part of the game, so I just want to do it before we fight Radahn. I'm pretty sure it is a bit of a long quest though, so that'll be fun. Summon this. And start attacking. Please. Thank you. Alright, now I think we actually have to talk to Ranni before we talk to Celevis. Could be wrong, but we're just going to do it anyway. Alright, finally. I mean, that was the first time I've ever done that questline, and I do have to say, it was incredibly boring. It was just constantly me just going from Ronnie tries to here and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Well, yeah, you get the idea. Anyways, we can actually now move on to what we actually want to do now. Alright, we're going up here to get a few things that we're going to need. One of them being a Frenzied Flame incantation that we want to use for damage, and the other being a Frenzied Flame incantation that we want to use for buffing ourselves, as it will give like a 20% buff to damage. And there's also a boss that will drop us some good tiers that we're going to need later on, so just give it up. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Well, that worked perfectly. Alright, we're just gonna simply just kill him. We're just gonna simply win. GG's. Alright, thank you for the tears. We're a little low on runes, so we're just going to kill this tree avatar. And it will also give us the poise breaking tier, which will just be so good for the next few bosses, so it's time to die. Oh, let me end it with ItsRural. Alright, GG. I will be taking these. Alright, so we're actually going to be going to Volcano Manor next, as there's a lot of stuff here that we're going to need later on. And I think it just works better in this order. And one of the things we need to get is actually right here. And it's a buff that we're going to need called Golden Vow. Alright, grab that. And this person will spawn here. So we're just going to cheese her. Hopefully it works. Oh, dog. Oh, no. I mean, it worked. Alright, yeah. Let's just join Volcano Manor. Alright, so we can also get Assassin's Gambit, so once we get to the next race, we'll just pick that up. We want to grab the seal that we get from down there, as the faith scaling is pretty high on it, and also it's just easy to upgrade as well, meaning we're just going to get a lot of high damage out of not that many smithing stones. Alright, grab that. So what do we start with? I think we start with Golden Vow, then Howl, and then Blood Flame Blade. So do this. Blood Flame Blade. Drink. Alright, this should be fine. Alright, there we go. And he gets slept. And we just do this. I mean, this is as cheesy as it gets. There we go. And Ash 4. Dead. Alright. I mean, what I just did, anyone could just do. Spam attack him until he starts to get up. Charge him so he gets down. And then you just Ash 4 him. Pretty simple. Thing is, I think there's an easy way to fight Radahn, but, I mean, easier for me doesn't mean easier in general, right? Okay, so with this, I think we just aggro him and then go to the rock. Alright. Yep, blow up in his face. He's probably got a next one over here. Alright, let's go to this one, please. Yes, thank you, sir. Alright, you should be dead. GG's. We want to do Millicent's questline in order to get Pest Thread, as well as to get the incantation damage boosting talisman. I mean, you guys have seen me do this questline a lot in my videos, so I don't think I need to go over it again. I'll probably just cut to the part where it's basically over. Yeah, let's see what you've got. You are quite literally dead. I do not know what you're going to try and do about it. I would say something to you, but realistically, I will just put you out of your misery. Alright, thank you. Okay, we'll grab the pest threads. Alright, now that we've actually finished Millicent's questline and gotten the two things that we needed, we can actually fight Radahn right now, because I don't think there's anything else that we... Anyways, as I was saying, I don't think there's anything else that we actually need to fight him. I think the plan is to just summon and just attack from afar. I've never used pest threads on Radahn, so I'm curious to see how that will do. Maybe we summon first, and then I pop the flask. It's been a while since I've done it the legit way. Will that hit? Yep, it will. I can't tell if that was working or not. Oh, we had to iframe that. Alright, see ya. Rot. There we go. Oh, he's broke. Oh, he's dead. GG's. Oh, he wasn't. Okay, he just died. GG's. I was not expecting it to be that effective, I'll be honest. So now that we've defeated Radahn, we want to go into Nokron in order to get Mimic tier, which we're going to need a lot for the later bosses, seeing as the cheeses for those bosses become less and less apparent. So I'm just going to have to go with the easiest build to defeat them. Yeah, I mean, that's just very simple stuff, to be honest. Alright, and just give me this. I mean, another good thing about being down here is that we can get a lot of larval tiers, meaning we can respec our build a few times, which we're actually going to need to do. So, let's just do that right now. I guess we'll put more there. Or we could just keep it the same, and then go more in faith. Or we just go full on faith. Yeah, screw it. We'll just do that. Alright, so we're here because we want to defeat the duo Gargs, so we can just get some smithing stones to upgrade our weapons with. I obviously hope it goes well, and I think it will go well, because in our faith-only run that we did a little while ago, I basically two-shot them. Oh, wow. So, assuming that this is around the same damage, we're really going to have no difficulty with this. Let's do this. And you're dead. GG's. Don't be weird. Don't be weird, please. Oh, you're dead. 2. Oh, alright, you're dead. GG. As someone who absolutely despises his boss, doing that to them is just incredibly satisfying. Obviously, you do kind of need to know how their moves work a little bit, but even then, you could probably play it safe and just keep running away from them. Okay, we're using Assassin's Gambit to sneak past these guys. I don't know if it's going to work so well. I mean, it kind of did. But I do recommend anyone who is struggling to get past these kinds of sections, just grab Assassin's Gambit. It makes your life so much easier. Now can you upgrade my Mimic? Alright, got a +9 Mimic. Alright, so this next cheese we're going to do requires us to use the bow and kukris. Kind of similar to how you cheese a Knight's Cavalry. And it actually works in a similar way, except this time, instead of letting him walk off by himself, we have to give him a little push. Thing is, I've never done it with square off before, but I assume it probably works the same way, right? Usually people use the Uchigatana just because it's easier to get poise breaks with, but I'm pretty sure square off does a lot more poise damage, so it should work the exact same, if not even better than the Uchi. Okay, we have to let him start walking and then we crouch away. There. I think he's in the right spot. Alright, let's try it. Yeah. Alright. See? Pretty simple. I waited for him to turn around there just because sometimes if you don't wait, he'll like jump around and then just jump away from the edge, which obviously is not what you want.
I wish you luck. You have fought long.
Oh no, I'm so sad that you're gone. I do this bit every single video. Alright, we'll grab this. Also, while we're here, we'll actually grab the Starfish just because they are one of the best weapons in the game, honestly, and we might use it later on. Alright, grab that. Okay, so just before we fight Godfrey, we're actually going to need one more thing, and that is the Lightning Spear. And the reason we're using Lightning Spear is because it's a long-range move, and he's also weak to lightning, so it's just going to do that much extra damage. So we're just going to have to grab the book. Give me that book! GG. Alright, give me that. Alright, we'll grab this, I guess. And we'll grab this just in case. I have a feeling we're going to need it. Pop this. And I think we're fine. Ooh, that's nice damage, actually. I don't know why I rolled that. Ignore the fact that I died there, please. Alright, pop this. Pop this. And now we go through and pop Mimic. Oh, he's waiting for me? Huh. Alright, let's just do this. Ooh. There we go, and again. Even though I know how to fight this boss, I want to do it in a cheesy way, so I'm not going to be fighting him right there. Alright, he's dead. See? Just jump him with Lightning Spear, and you're going to be all fine. Alright, now on this Morgott fight, we're kind of going to do a similar thing we did in the first Margit fight, and similar to what we did against Rennala. I don't really know if there's anything he can do to make this a challenge for me. Down! Down again. Oh, I didn't want to do that, I'll be honest. Spam. Oh, great. Mimic, do something! Spam him! Nope. GG's. I don't know if I want to call that a cheese, though. Then again, if any of you are struggling doing what I just did there, I don't think there's any hope for you. Ideally, what I wanted to happen originally is that you'd hit him until just before he gets to his second stage, and then you'd poise break him, and then you'd get extra damage, and you could actually probably one-cycle him that way. Alright, so we'll come back to this boss after we get this grace, because I want to use Pest Threads on him, and I want to see how much damage it does. Okay, that damage is pretty good. Ooh, let me not die though. Hit. Hit again. A rough move. Some nice hits though. Again. And again. Ooh! Hi. Bye. Do we kill this guy? Is that really a question I'm asking? And you're dead. GG. Using your own incantations against you. Feels bad. But then again, I don't really feel that bad about it. Alright, so because we want to fight Malenia and Mohg, I'm going to actually have to fight Commander Niall. And I do actually have a cheese in mind in order to fight him. But it does mean that we do have to set up for it. Alright, do that, and we'll do that. Wait, I did make the right ones, right? I want to die. Alright, now we have this thing upgraded to plus 18. And we actually have the right arrows crafted. So, we can actually, finally, begin. Alright. And I think it no longer works. Okay, to improvise what didn't work, we will be using this. Alright, got it. It's the easiest thing I could think of, so I don't think you're going to struggle doing this if you try and copy me. There we go. Just dodge this. If he does this, we just hit him. I mean, this boss is pretty easy if you just do this. Make it so he comes to you instead of going to him. You don't even need to really know his moveset. You just need to know that timing, and that's it. The other move's super easy to dodge. Alright, and just like that, he's dead. Alright, so for the next boss, which is Fire Giant, we're going to use a mixture of Pest Threads and the Rotten Breath. But I will mainly be using Pest Threads, kind of similar to how I fought Radahn. Let's kind of go in a similar direction. It should be the finalized build for this boss. I don't think we really need to do anything fancy. We just kind of have to cook him. I also forgot to get the Rot Breath, so this might already be failed. I want to die to the boss so we can put on Rot Breath. I want to see the difference. Alright, and now we just spam. Spam more. Spam. Spam. Alright, next stage. Okay, we'll just rot his hand. There we go. I mean, honestly, at this point, we can just run using Torrent. He's rotted, so yeah. Bye-bye. And that is why we love rot. And just like that, that is how you cheese Greyll. Alright, now that we have everything we need, killing these bosses is going to be so quick. Alright, so before we actually fight the Godskin Duo, we do actually need to pick up this book. Alright, grab that. And we're going to be using this against Placidusax, which honestly, it just melts his HP. Alright, there we go. Alright, throw another. Does it get both of them? Yep, it gets both. Alright, cool. There we go. I wanted to repose. There we go. I mean, it didn't let me repose, but it's fine. Alright, this one. Charge, and we repose. If we repose, we get extra damage and extra hits. Like here. Now. That was actually an insane guess by me. Alright, cool. There we go. I stood over there just so I wouldn't repose him by accident. There we go. GG's. See, that was a lot easier to do. Alright, before we fight Placidusax, we want to get our Ancient Dragon Cult incantations. And to do that, we need to speak to this turtle. Alright, so the reason we're back in Altus is because we want to get Godfrey's icon, which will just boost our damage from the lightning even more. There we go. Get the poise break. Dead. Yeah, this weapon is just so OP. And don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. And for this, we don't want to use Assassin's Gambit, as we're going to need all the health we can get. Seeing as there isn't a Grace down there. Alright, let's hope I don't mess this up. Okay. Oh, no, now he's doing it. Alright, just do one of these. Move! Hit. Charge. Wait, is it fire? It is fire. Charge. Oh my god, I actually managed to land it. Wait, no way. I one-cycled him. Okay. This is, interesting. That is... I've never done that before, okay? I'm gonna pretend as if that was intentional. I mean, if you want to see what build I'm using, this is it. With an add-on of Golden Vow and Howl of Shrubbery. And in the flask, all I really have is a lightning tier. So, it simply is just that easy. Okay, we're going to try something. And I'm going to say it right now, it's probably not going to work. Ugh. Wait, maybe if I stay here, he won't do it. Okay, that missed. Okay, that does hit. Okay. And he's rotted. So we can just wait for the health to tick down. Second stage, I don't know. I guess I could probably try the same thing again, but I don't think it will work. Please, Maliketh. There we go. I think he's rotted now. And now we can just wait out the clock. To make it even easier, you could just use Mimic as well to keep the aggro on Mimic. Maybe I should have done that. Spawn Mimic, rot him from afar, and then just let his health tick down. Anyway, that was simple. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be doing is going to Haligtree, but in order to do that, we do need a certain weapon. And that weapon is this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is get Unseen Form, and the way we do that is doing a puzzle in this forest area. There we go. Yep, okay. Alright. I guess they don't expect too many people to do it this way around, so it does look a little bit weird when it spawns in. Alright, grab that. Alright. And take you out. Thank you. Okay, so now that we're in Haligtree, all we gotta do is just make it to Loretta. Alright, so with this cheese, this is actually kind of simple. Unless I obviously fail it, and in that case, it's not very simple. But it just involves you stealthing behind Loretta and kind of just stunning her using one of these. To be fair, when I saw this cheese, this gate was already closed, so I might actually have to die for this to work. But I'm not dying to your hands. Okay, let's see. And she is dead. GG. I think that might be the best cheese I've ever done in this video. I mean, I say that now, but I do think the Malenia one is just slightly better, because it does that with a bit more finesse. Alright, we got the weapon to +10, and I think this is all we need to fight Malenia now. But yeah, before we do the cheese, however, we do need to die, as if you don't know, the first time you go to Malenia, you kind of spawn right next to her, so there's no way to stealth it. Alright, let's see how Rural fucks this one up. Okay, so the moment she turns around, we start sprint crouching towards her. There we go. I think we did it now. Now we just cast our skills. Alright, I think this is messed up because I don't think she's gonna get poison procced. Here we go. Alright, let's see if she dies to poison. Well, GG's. And that is what I think the best cheese in this game is.
Of a true lord.
Yeah, true lord, just sitting back and throwing mist. How brave of me. I just love that cheese, man. If I haven't even said that enough, you wouldn't even think you'd be able to do that. And even then, it's kind of really hard to do it because she kind of sees you at any point. You can't mess up for even a second. But just like that, that's how you cheese Malenia. I think it's in this chest. It's just on this body. Alright, grab that. Alright, so the cheese for Mohg isn't really a cheese, it's kind of what I was doing before, just using an OP build, to hopefully skip his second stage, if all goes well. Alright, so we're going to get the Grace here, but we do actually need to get back out in order to get a few more things before we fight the boss. Yep. Okay, let's make 8 holy water pots. Okay. I mean, that was pretty simple. Alright, give me that. Hold it. Alright, give me that. Alright, grab that. No. Oh my god. Okay, well, that worked. Remove that. Step through. Golden Vow. And then Howl of Shiburi. Yep, stop you right there. And then we'll do it again. Okay. Let the spam begin. Dodge. Dodge. Alright, hit him with 2 of these. I guess 3. And he's 1 hit. And he's dead. GG. Whatever, I am so done with trying to one-tap him, I just could not be asked. If you want to one-cycle him, you should probably just use Bloodhound Fang. It would probably be a lot easier than what I just did. But it worked, whatever. So what I'm going to do now is get the fetid pot recipe in order to just cheese Gideon. And I'm going to need to get it from this guy. Grab it and go, grab it and go, grab it and go. Oh, he's actually okay with me. So I've actually never done this cheese that I'm about to do to Gideon. So if it fails, then I'm kind of screwed. But unlike the Mohgwyn cheese, I actually have a bit more faith in this one, as it's kind of similar to the Malenia and Loretta one, except not really. Okay, it just missed 3 times. I mean, I guess I could just go with all reliable. And you're dead. Anyway, it's time to set up for the Godfrey cheese. GG. One, 2. I forgot to crack blade. No, I'll do it here. Dodge. Okay, we get 2 hits here. And we get a repose. Charge. Charge. Dead. Okay. 1, 2. And then we move back with him so that we don't get hit by the fire. Dead. Okay, we do 1, 2. Do a little one, and then we repose. 1. Okay. Finally, he decides to attack. 1, 2. Alright, well, we did it. This video showcases the easiest way to beat the game. I feel like veterans could beat the game in easier ways than what I just showcased, but this is more for beginners who don't know the movesets too well. The Radagon one, you only really need to know 2 moves. The one where he raises his left hand to throw to the distance, That was a bad description by me. And then the other one where it's a different variation of that. That's all you need to know. And those two moves are really easy to avoid. Anyway, with that, that is how you beat Elden Ring's main game while only cheesing. The reason I thought Mohg in this video was because I'm setting up for the DLC, as this will be the part 2 to this kind of idea. So if you guys want to see that, why not like the video and also comment down below. Anyways, with that, peace.